Welcome back. Alan and I are going to do a little discussion, just talking about how the weather has gone so far. I think it's important to say, let's check in a little bit. How's our forecast doing? How are things going? What do you think so far? I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot here.
No, I feel like we're on weather weenies right now. It's great.
It's a little bit like weather weenies.
It's got that vibe.
For our loyal weather weenies viewers.
Yeah. I think we're keying in on the key elements of the storm right now. We've hit on the ratios being high.
Yep, dry, fluffy snow.
Yeah, we have focused on how fast it's going to pile up, the rates, right? 1 to 3 inches, which is considerable snow. And it seems like, from what we're hearing from people watching Storm Center right now, it's delivering.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten some reports of nearly a foot at this point.
Yeah.
If you want to look at the map behind me, we've been updating this as reports have come in from viewers so far. 11 inches in Biddeford, 8.5 in Alfred. Even that 6 inches from Sanford is a little old. I saw a report for 8 inches. So, and 1 inch in Bangor. We've started to get some reports
entered the chat.
in. They've entered
there
the
they
chat.
Go. They're in the party.
Started to get in some of those areas too. So we've started to see some more snowfall reports coming in, and they're the ones where we've seen a lot of that snow has been getting higher and higher. So that means we have some pretty high snowfall totals so far, but we have not even reached the halfway point of this system yet. We have a lot more snow left to go because this storm is so big, it's so dynamic. We've got a lot going on here. And this is what the radar looks like right now. At this point, almost the whole state has gotten the snowfall. A little bit of areas of far northern Maine. It has not started snowing yet, but we do have some pretty heavy snow in areas of southern and western Maine, moving into areas of the mid-coast and down east Maine, where you're seeing those darker purple colors. That's our heavier snow that will be continuing over the course of the night and during the day tomorrow. And we talked a little bit about that dry, that fluffy snow, and that's because of our temperatures. Something you don't often see is a big snowstorm with temperatures in the single digits. Sometimes you may have heard the phrase too dry or too cold to snow. Too cold to snow refers to the fact that if you have a very cold air mass, cold air holds less moisture than warm air does. And sometimes you get to a point where the air is simply so cold that it can't have enough moisture to see precipitation, certainly precipitation of this caliber. But this storm is very powerful, and because we have these single-digit temperatures, we are seeing this very dry and very fluffy snow, and temperatures will remain in this area throughout the night as well. And you can really see where we have that heavy snow falling, reach areas of the Bangor area. Right now, Bangor 3/4 of a mile visibility, only 1/4 mile visibility right now in Portland, 1/2 mile visibility in Wiscasset. So if you do have to be out and about tonight, just keep in mind visibility has been very low for several hours now, a trend that will continue overnight tonight, heavy snowfall too. So we do have these winter storm warnings for this very large system from Maine all the way through the Ohio Valley, ice storm warnings in areas of the Carolinas and northern Georgia. For us here in Maine, though, we don't have to deal with any of that ice. Our temperatures are so low that we're not even close to that rain snow line. So we have that winter storm warning in the areas here shaded in pink, winter weather advisory in areas of far northern Maine where we do have a little bit less snowfall expected there. So over the next few hours, the snow will continue to fall across areas of the state. It will continue to pile up pretty rapidly, especially because our highest snowfall rates are going to be overnight. As we get into the day tomorrow, I do think the morning commute is still going to be pretty tricky. There's going to be a lot of snow on the ground, but snow during the day on Monday in general is going to be a lot lighter, especially in comparison to overnight tonight. I do think there will be another burst of moderate to heavy snow at the very end of this system in the late evening hours on Monday, and then this storm finally departs as we get into about daybreak on Tuesday morning, so it's a very long duration system that we have here. And something that we talked a lot about is those snowfall rates. Snowfall rates at times over 2 inches per hour, which is extremely heavy snow. That will continue overnight tonight. Snowfall rates much more manageable during the day tomorrow. And the snow is going to pile up extremely quickly because of those high snowfall rates, especially over the next few hours. And then it does start to taper off as we get into the morning tomorrow, but snow will still be falling and will still be accumulating during the day tomorrow. So for a little more background background and some extra science, we have our meteorologist Alan Holt here. Alan, what have you got for us?
Dana, the ratios are pretty impressive with this storm. You talked about it right off the top of your segment there, how sometimes it's too cold to snow, right? The temperature field right now across the state is pretty much in the single digits, if not sub-zero up to the north. That 6 degrees in Portland, that is about 14 or 15 below 0 Celsius. And I reference that metric because -12 to -18 Celsius is where the snow growth region of the atmosphere is set up, and we are literally living in the snow growth region of the atmosphere right now. So from the surface up to 16,000 feet, the atmosphere is producing snow, and it's coming down at a 1 to 3 inch per hour rate, which is why we're seeing these totals really start to stack up. I want you to show the inner workings really of how this is all happening from a more broad view. And what we have to the north of us, there's a big region of high pressure that is weakened, and it's going to continue to move more to the north. But what that is doing is supplying Maine and a lot of New England with some cold air. We saw the single digit temperatures. That high is shoving in cold air to New England. We've also got a developing area of low pressure coming off the Delmarva. That will end up being the driver of the snowfall overnight. As it works through the Gulf of Maine, we're going to keep that cold tap of air coming in. This system swings by, and as that's happening, it's dropping heavy, fluffy snow. We're thinking the overnight time frame is going to be one of the most intense parts, with perhaps a few more gaps in the snow early tomorrow morning, but it's going to linger around throughout the day as that coastal low, that nor'easter really, out in the Atlantic continues to move by the state. And as that's happening, the low out in the Gulf of Maine, the winds are going to pick up just a little bit into tomorrow. So we're looking at 10 to 20 mile per hour winds sustained. That's breezy, but not blizzard criteria. Given the fluffiness of the snow, though, 10 to 20 is easily going to be blowing it around. There will be drifts, so be aware of that if you're traveling around. The winds calm down a bit into Tuesday as the entire system exits. That looks to happen Monday night. So we're thinking Monday, it's not going to be as heavy as it will be tonight, but there still will be some showers of snow for parts of the state, and it'll clear from west to east Monday and into Tuesday as that area of low pressure scoots on out of here. So another look at the snow map. These are the numbers we're anticipating. Some locations are getting close in southern Maine to that 12 to 18 inch range. We've got Biddeford, for example, with nearly a foot of snow. Sanford, Alfred, both up over 8 inches of snow. And we're looking at areas south of Route 2 and into southern Maine, pretty much an all skate for over a foot of snow. So it's going to pile up. You'll just be careful if you're driving around during the overnight time frame, because if you are, the snow is going to be blowing around, the visibility is going to be low, the temperatures are frigid. It's sub-zero on the wind chill throughout. So take it easy if you're getting out in it, and if you're enjoying it, just be sure you're bundling up, because again, the other key part of the forecast, we've been talking about it, it's cold. Are we going to Drew or break? Where are we going? We're going to break. We'll be back after this.